Welcome back for day 2 of Eastgate's 5-part series celebrating National Infrastructure Week. If you're just joining us, be sure to check out yesterday's video. Today we're talking environment and climate change. But before we jump in, we have a few quick words from Ohio State Senator Michael Rulli.
Hi, I'm Senator Michael Rulli of the 33rd District of Ohio, and I'm here today to talk about a partnership that we've been developing with Eastgate. Eastgate has been crucial in helping us revitalize the area as far as infrastructure. In particular, we've cleaned up the Mahoning River, where we've taken out dams and allowed it to go back to its natural state. This is crucial for bringing business to the area and having people redevelop in the Youngstown. Eastgate is a visionary and has shown us the future for renewables. We will take what we have now, the fossil fuels of Ohio, and step that into a renewable program where the future will be green. With Eastgate's partnership, we have cleaned up the area and we have a beautiful future ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, State Senator Rulli, for being with us for National Infrastructure Week and to talk about environment and climate change. Today we've got Stephanie Dyer talking about the Mahoning River. So thanks for being with us, Stephanie. Can you give us a little bit of an introduction to the Mahoning River and the current ongoing project and how it relates to infrastructure?
Hi, yes, thank you for inviting me. So the Mahoning River is a river that spans over 6 counties within our state of Ohio. It drains about over 1,000 miles, so you can imagine how long and how wide this watershed is. But for our planning region, it spans Mahoning and Trumbull counties. On a larger scale, it is part of the Ohio drainage basin, so it connects to the Ohio River, which then drains to the Mississippi and ends up in the Gulf. Pre-industrialization, Mahoning River was mainly used for transportation purposes. You could honestly say that it was nature's original forms of transportation, given the fact that many of the colonists probably used this area to trade, to transport goods and services up and down the river. And then finally, when the industrialization came about, we started seeing more steel mills and more industries pop up along the Mahoning River to use not only just the water, but also the resources that were readily available here within the lands that are adjacent to the river. So with the Mahoning River came the industrialization, and the industries used the Mahoning River not only just for their free water, but also to take that water in and to use it during their cooling processes. So 9 times out of 10, those waters that would be drawn in would be put back into the river, and that's where the river would become polluted, not only just because of the temperature of the water, but because of whatever else the water grabbed during the processes and dumped into the river.
Considering the legacy left behind by the river's industrial use, why is it important to clean the river now?
A clean river means a healthy environment as well as a healthy economic development and revitalization for communities that are along the river. Cleaning the river is one of the things that we should be doing to a river that gave us so much back during World War II when we were one of the top steel making communities. It gave us jobs, it gave us the economic development that we needed. And so therefore, it's only fair that we give back to the river and start cleaning it. So cleaning it not only means just going in and taking out polluted sediment, but it also includes removing the dam structures that were put in place by the industries that aligned the river. So the steel mills, utilizing the river, pulled up the river by placing dams in it, and that's where they had their water intake to draw in the water for the processes. So the river in and of itself right now is becoming more clean as we speak. The Ohio EPA has surveyed it, and over the past 10 plus years, they have seen a rebound in not only the fish population, but the bug population, but the chemical aspect of the water quality itself. So every time we come in and we take out a dam, part of that will also be including removing contaminated sediment that also contains the legacy pollutants. So once we remove the sediment and we remove the dams, water quality will start to take a jump start towards improvement because we're allowing the fish to migrate up and down the river as they naturally would have before the industrialization, as well as sediment will be more easily transported and deposited throughout the river system as nature intended it to.
So the Mahoning River is more than just the river itself. Are you able to share with us a little bit about its watershed?
So the Mahoning River is more than just the river itself. It contains that larger watershed that I had spoke about earlier, spanning over 1,000 square miles and draining 6 counties. Mahoning River watershed begins in Columbiana and goes through 5 other communities before it gets to the Beaver River located in Pennsylvania, just right down the road from where we are standing right here in Lowville. The river provides not only just the recreational aspects, but it also connects the communities that are along the river. We look at places like Lowville here, connecting to Struthers and Youngstown, and even those that we know are further up in Trumbull County, such as Warren and Leavittsburg. So we're looking at this as a community-wide connector for our communities to share not only just the recreational trail aspect of the water trail, but also the economic development aspect of it and the benefits that will come from that.
So you've made note of all the communities along the river. How have they all come together to address this issue?
The communities have come together and formed the Mahoning River Mayors Association, and it's a unique collaboration between all the mayors, as the name states, along the Mahoning River. And what is beautiful about this collaboration is the fact that all of the mayors set aside their personal projects that they would like for the river to support one another. So the main goal that everybody shares is the fact that we want to see a clean, free flowing river, because we know that the economic benefits of that would help our communities grow and thrive, because we know that people want to come into our communities where they can do recreational activities. And when they're here and they're in the river and coming out, we can provide them with those amenities, such as the restaurants, such as housing, lodging. So everybody's vision kind of morphed together to share ideas as to what their vision and what a grander Mahoning River revitalization project looks like.
With all of the communities coming together to address this issue, what's the status of the individual revitalization projects?
The individual revitalization projects began several years ago with the Lowville Dam Removal Project. That project was funded by an Ohio EPA grant that funded not only the deconstruction of the Lowville Dam, but the dredging and removal of the contaminated sediment that aligned the dam pool. So behind me would have been the location of the actual dam, but this summer completed the project and the dam has since been removed. And now you can see that we have a connection between Lowville and the Newcastle in PA. So the revitalization plan doesn't just stop here. We are going to continue moving forward upstream into the city of Struthers, where they have applied and received grant funding to remove their dam and contaminated sediment as well. That project should be complete within this year or early next year, depending upon weather, of course. And once that dam is done, then we move into the city of Youngstown. They have 3 dams that are located within their city limits that they had applied for Ohio EPA funding again to remove the dams and the sediment. They have been funded, and it is just now in the process of coming up with the design plans and the planning stages of the dam removal project. Moving further upstream and going into Trumbull County, we have dam removal projects scheduled for the city of Warren. City of Warren also received Ohio EPA funds this year to go ahead and remove the Summit Street Dam. And then after that, the Leavittsburg Dam will be applying for, the Metro Parks will be applying for a grant to remove their dam. So as you can see, once we remove these dams and reconnect the community, the revitalization plan will continue not only just within the river, but also within the communities that align it.
Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing an update on the Mahoning River Restoration. And as we can see from where you're standing, the river's changing before our eyes. Now, to wrap up today's event, here's a few thoughts from Eastgate's Executive Director, Jim Kinnick.
Thank you, Justin, and thanks to everyone that participated in the webcast today. This was day 2 of our 5-part series, Recognizing National Infrastructure Week. Today we looked at climate change and the environment. Stephanie talked about the Mahoning River and our efforts to remove the dams. Removing the dams will return the river to its free-flowing, clean state and provide opportunities for economic development to all the communities along the river. It's these types of projects that will move this region forward. We will continue to engage our state and federal partners to secure additional funding to make these types of projects a reality. I'd like to thank State Senator Rulli for his comments today and strong support of all the initiative at Eastgate. He has certainly been instrumental in bringing additional funding to the river and the removal of these dams. In closing, I'd like to invite everyone back for tomorrow's webcast that'll focus on broadband. Thank you.